Venezuela's president captured by U.S. forces. President Trump announcing the surprise operation overnight.
I feel like it's the best thing can happen with him. He deserves that and more.
Local Venezuelans celebrating the move. Local leaders also speaking out. Questions about the legality. What's next in America's involvement in Latin America? 3 men killed in Maryland. The serious crime unfolding overnight and outside of a banquet hall. We'll take you there with what we know right now. Car into an icy pond, just where passengers escaped after leaving one major roadway.
We saw some chilly temperatures over this past week, but as we enter into a new week, we start to see a warm-up heading our way with a chance of rain coming towards the end.
And the checks are already in the mail for Amazon Prime users. We'll tell you why and how to cash in further during the holiday gift return season.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
We're going to make sure that that country is run properly. We're not doing this in vain. This is a very dangerous attack. This is an attack that could have gone very, very badly.
Tonight, America asserting power over Venezuela. The country's president captured overnight, entering a new era of the United States' involvement in foreign countries. Good Saturday evening. Thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 10 o'clock. I'm Ben Dennis. We've got a lot to get to. Let's dive in to the latest developing news out of Latin America, where U.S. forces captured Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife overnight. President Trump announcing the news on social media early this morning. Most of us were asleep after Maduro was taken into U.S. custody. Military sites reportedly bombed in the country's capital of Caracas. This afternoon, the president said that Maduro and his wife are facing charges for drug trafficking, and now the United States will temporarily be in control of the Venezuelan government.
Who's in power right now?
Well, we're going to be running it with a group, and we're going to make sure it's run properly. We're going to rebuild the oil infrastructure, which will cost billions of dollars. It'll be paid for by the oil companies directly. They will be reimbursed for what they're doing, but it's going to be paid. And we're going to get the oil flowing the way it should be.
The president says the U.S. will tap Venezuela's large oil reserve while rebuilding the country and suggested the money made from it will pay for America's involvement. Local Democratic leaders say Congress was not briefed before Maduro was captured. More on that in a moment. Venezuelans living here in the DMV rallied and not far from the White House, largely in support for their president being taken out of power. Our Dave Laval reports.
Tears cannot hide the joy for Emmy Meleon as she hugs her cousin following news of the arrest of Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro.
His dad died under the oppression of Venezuela dictator Maduro, and he is here, and I'm just thinking about my uncle because he would have loved to celebrate this moment with us.
Dozens of Venezuelans gathered at the Simon Bolivar statue to celebrate Maduro's ouster after 12 years in power.
So many emotions, happiness.
Liliana Wright of Sterling, Virginia, also recalls the heartache Maduro brought his country, including alleged massive human rights violations.
Leaving country, separate families. It is hard to understand how we feel right now.
Finally, we were waiting for this for a long time ago.
New Jersey's Moravia Gonzalez happened to be in Alexandria, Virginia, when she heard the news.
The feeling, I can't explain it, but we feel it as a Venezuelan.
Despite the festive mood here, not everyone is celebrating the U.S. action in Venezuela.
Hands up, Venezuela!
Hundreds of demonstrators gathered in front of the White House Saturday to protest Maduro's capture.
Maduro must be freed. Let Venezuela solve its own problems.
That's Spanish for freedom, and a reason for these Venezuelans to celebrate. In Northwest, Dave Laval, DC News Now.
Republicans are applauding the president's order to arrest Maduro. Democrats agree that Maduro should not be in power, but say that his capture is illegal. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is pushing back on critics tonight, like Virginia Senator Tim Kaine, who says any similar military operation should be brought to Congress first, which is currently controlled by Republicans.
Time for Congress to get its ass off the couch and do what the Constitution mandates that we do, the Constitution that we take an oath to. We have to put this before the American people, not just in private settings, but in public hearings.
This was not the kind of mission that you can do congressional notification on. It was a trigger-based mission in which conditions had to be met night after night. We watched and monitored that for a number of days. So it's just simply not the kind of mission you can call people and say, hey, we may do this at some point in the next 15 days. But it's largely a law enforcement function. Remember, at the end of the day, at its core, this was an arrest of 2 indicted fugitives of American justice.
Maryland Democratic Senator Chris Van Hollen said in part, quote, "This administration owes the American people and the Congress immediate answers. This act of war is a grave abuse of power by the president." All right, for the latest developments of the capture of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, what's next for the nation and the U.S., visit DCNewsNow.com. We've also got more ahead at 10:30. All right, meteorologist Derek Bone is in for Scott Sumner this weekend. Derek, we're happy to have you here. I know that you have some good news for us who do not enjoy the cold temps.
Yeah, we have, of course, the chilly temperatures for now, of temperatures into the 30s today, as high as we're going into the 40s tomorrow. Tracking a few flurries off towards the west of Hagerstown, also continuing down the I-81 corridor, going down towards the south and west. Front Royal, also to the west of the Ray, seeing a little bit of snow flurry action this evening, but relatively quiet here in Washington. We're looking at, of course, those clouds overcast currently at around 34 degrees. North winds at 6 miles per hour. That dew point awfully dry, 11 degrees Fahrenheit. So very dry conditions out there. Relative humidity is only at 38%. We're looking at temperatures around the area across Pennsylvania. We're seeing temperatures into the 20s as well as the 30s there in Philly. Going on to Pittsburgh at 23 degrees, 22 in Buffalo, 24 in Detroit, 30 degrees in Charleston, 38 in Roanoke. Moving down into the Carolinas now, temperatures into the mid-30s. They are nearly 16 degrees cooler than they were yesterday, but we are warming up. We're about 5 degrees warmer here in D.C. than we were 24 hours ago.
All right, Derek, thanks. New tonight, 3 men were shot and killed outside of a banquet hall in Prince George's County. Police say this happened around 2 a.m. on St. Barnabas Road in the Marlow Heights area. Officers said they found the 3 men shot in the parking lot. They all died on scene. Police are working to learn the circumstances surrounding the shooting. No word of any suspects. Well, today, President Trump repeated his baseless claim that there is no crime in D.C., including no murders in recent months, with the exception of the fatal shooting of National Guard member Sarah Beckstrom. The no murder claim is false. First, here's what Mr. Trump said during today's press conference about the U.S. capturing the Venezuelan president.
We have no crime in Washington, D.C. We haven't had a killing. We had the terrorist attack a few weeks ago. A little bit of a different kind of a threat. But we haven't had a killing in a long period of time, 6, 7 months. We used to have 2, on average 2 a week in Washington, our capital. We don't have that anymore.
Well, in recent months, crime data from D.C. police says that there were 59 documented homicides that have happened in the last 7 months, not 0. D.C. officially has a top cop, former executive assistant chief Jeffrey Carroll. He assumed the role of interim chief after Pamela Smith stepped down. And right in the middle of federal investigations into accusations, the department changed crime statistics. Now, she denied this and said her departure was to spend more time with family. Meantime, crime data for all of last year is now online on D.C. police website. It shows a 32% drop in homicides compared to 2024. Assault with dangerous weapons down 10%. Violent crime overall dropped by 29% year over year. Those stats also followed trends of crime dropping the year prior in 2024. Last year also saw, of course, a surge of federal law enforcement and National Guard troops across city streets. In the district, we've learned that 2 row homes caught fire overnight. This sent thick smoke into the air in Northeast. Crews say the fire happened around 2:45 a.m. on Benning Road near Fort Mahan Park. Wires were reportedly down in front of one of the homes. Crews told us they had to start fighting flames from the outside because it was too intense to go indoors. Firefighters also put out the flames on the attached row home. Reportedly, no injuries. Good news. A driver ended up in an icy pond in Montgomery County this morning. Yikes, this is scary, no doubt. Fantastic news here. Nobody was hurt after crews say that car left the roadway on I-270 in Gaithersburg which was near Montgomery Village Avenue. Unfolding around 8 a.m., 2 people inside escaped unharmed. Back in D.C., some folks may still be working on which New Year's resolutions to prioritize. That includes Dry January, which cuts out alcohol for a month. And it comes at a time when bars and restaurants are typically slower than they usually are. Our Daniel Hamburg went about town to see how businesses could be impacted.
In D.C., a lot of social gatherings center around alcohol. In the new year, Dry January is popular, but it's not for everyone.
I'm not doing it just because I feel like it's all about balance, and January is not a fun month, so you have to spice it up a little, have a drink or two.
I am not doing it. I try not to drink too much in general, so why should January be any different?
At Spark Social, the bar started as a completely sober space for 8 months before introducing alcohol to the menu last month.
I think that now is a great opportunity for us to not only, serve the community that we've already been serving, but for a lot of people who wouldn't have come to Spark because, they're looking for an alcoholic option.
Owner Nick Suzaki says people have been reevaluating their relationship with alcohol.
Whether that means people being dry curious, looking to just, try something new, or, take the whole month off and just give themselves like a little personal challenge. I'm personally doing that for the first time.
And we found others doing the same.
This is my first time doing it, yeah.
And
just because I want to cut out alcohol, maybe permanently. It seemed like a good excuse to try.
Suzaki hopes January will be good for business.
We're hoping to create an environment where people who are experimenting with Dry January can come and try something new here.
Well, thanks to Daniel. Try something new this weekend as well. The town of Vienna in Virginia is kicking off their celebrations of America's 250th birthday. This starts tomorrow at the town green, where a Virginia Love sign has been put up. There's going to be some patriotic singing along, music from the Vienna Community Band, and a community bell ringing. Next month, Vienna VA 250 will host screenings of the new documentary, The American Revolution.